I'm not a tax professional, and nothing in this episode should be considered official tax advice. Always consult with a certified tax professional or CPA to make sure you're filing correctly and maximizing your deductions based on your personal situation. I don't mind paying upfront so I could benefit from it on the back end. Now, it's all about your mindset, right? Let's get to the nitty-gritty portion of this entire episode. It's all about your mindset. If you're living in a market that you can make a whole lot of money, but you don't really want to drive a whole lot. And when I say drive a whole lot, I mean drive a whole lot. Because if you're going to be paying for this thing up front, you need to be able to survive. So you need to make back what you spend in rental fees, plus whatever you're going to spend in gas, plus whatever you need to survive. All of that you got to grind it out, but you're going to save your vehicle if you have one. If you don't have one, this is an option. I think that's why Uber provides that option. And I believe, don't get me wrong, please do your research, but I believe through their rental system or whatever, there's like unlimited miles, but you just got to pay for that. And I think their stipulations is you got to do a certain amount of rides or something for it to be discounted or whatever it is. I can't remember the exact rules to renting through Uber, but just think about it. Your mindset. If you don't mind paying up front, you could benefit from it on the back end. Write it off on your taxes. That's how I think. If you think about also, look, I just bought this van. This van that I have, I only purchased it because my last vehicle was giving me issues. And I dropped like $5,000 between the month of February to April. So when you think about it, February, March, April, 2 months, $5,000. So it was like, it's either I keep it and then I keep dumping money into it. And by the time I'm done dumping money into it, I could have just bought a brand new vehicle. No, let me get another vehicle because this vehicle is only going to take my money. That vehicle becomes a liability. And you don't want to operate with anything that is a liability to you, because that's just going to increase your overhead. And I don't want to get too technical and all of that stuff, but all I'm saying is I see the benefit in rental. I also see the benefit in leasing. Now, you might say, why would you lease a vehicle to do? Man, Amazon, all these like companies and shit, they be leasing their vehicles, bro. They lease their vehicles and you could write off your lease payment. Look it up. Whatever your lease payment is, you can write it off. I know leases, they're capped out, but think about who you're talking to here. I'm a catering driver. There's significantly less miles compared to doing DoorDash, Uber Eats, Grubhub, Instacart. That stuff takes up a lot more miles, right? You can rack up a lot more miles very quickly doing that type of stuff. But I get paid a lot more for driving a lot less. So if I really look at it, I get a lease, maybe a big enough vehicle that I could do all types of stuff in, and then I write off the lease payment. I'm good. At least that's how I'm looking at it right now. And I see the benefit in that because I'll never forget, I listened to Grant Cardone when he said, if you can't write it off, don't spend it. And that shit stuck with me. If you can't write it off, don't spend it. Don't finance a vehicle. You can't write off that payment. And guess what? That's part of your overhead. And you got to pay that every month. You can't write off your car payment Because why? Somebody else bought your vehicle for you and you paying them back. You can't write off what you paying them back for the vehicle that you driving. That's in simple terms. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, look, without rambling on much more than I have already, I really do feel a rental is more beneficial, in my opinion, to do what we do. If you love your vehicle and you plan on keeping it forever, park that shit and rent. But that's if you don't have any bills on that. Like, say, if you're financing, I don't recommend renting to then go out there and hustle and grind for you to then be able to pay your rental fees and the mileage, the gas and all that, and then for you to pay your finance, your car note. I can't get my words right, but I think y'all understand what I'm trying to get to. Don't have a bill that is a liability and it's hanging over your head right here. It got you drowning. Just so you could go then pay for a rental to then pay off that. No, you putting yourself in more and more debt. So at the end of the day, I feel a rental is the way to go if you don't have any other stuff that got you drowning. If you have a vehicle that you're financing, I don't recommend getting a rental. But if you don't have that type of stuff hanging over your head, I would say get a rental. That's just my take on it because of the tax benefits. And all this shit that DoorDash be sending people, you can take all of it. You'll be a platinum driver for the next, let's say you rent a vehicle for the whole rest of the year. You can write off all them rental fees, and then what? You drive all kind of crazy miles, and you a platinum driver for the whole year. I'm just saying, just think about everything that I just said to you. It all depends on what lane you want to take. If you take this lane over here with financing and owning your own vehicle, maybe you pay it off, but then you want that vehicle to last you forever, you don't want to give it up, then if you don't want to give it up, I say rent. But it got to be paid off. That can't be a liability. You know what I mean? Just pay it off and then park it and rent. That's my opinion. If you don't have a vehicle, rent. Don't go buy a vehicle and then for you to go rent. Or if you need a vehicle to go out on the road, I would choose to lease. But that's just a whole nother conversation. And please let me know your thoughts in the comments below, because it's a conversation I think people should have that may not consult with their CPA or their tax professional. They probably just go and get their taxes done and don't ask any questions. But I see benefits. I see benefits renting. And I think that's about the last thing I'm going to say. So, fam, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And I got to give one more shout out to Troy right here. Shout out to you, Troy. You get an applause. Shout out to you. I said Troy, but it's really Tony. My bad, Tony. My bad. Hopefully you got your answer. I know it was a bit long-winded, but it's important to go through the details, Tony. It's super important to go through the details for you to find your destination that you're trying to head to. I love going through all those details and breaking things down in full detail so you could then, again, find what's your destination. I hope the information I provided was enough to help anyone make any future decisions on whether to rent or to finance or to buy a car outright, And I'll leave you with this. That van that I have, the minivan I just purchased, I'm trying to get rid of that van. I'm not trying to keep that van forever. So people that were telling me, oh, you should have got a Yoda. You should have got. No, Yodas are built to last. So that's a van that would be around forever if I had gotten a Yoda. And then all the crap that I went through with my Honda, I didn't want to go through another Honda again. I was just like traumatized by Hondas. So it's not my intention to keep this van forever. I got a certain amount of time to make a certain amount of money. And then when I make that money, oh, that van gone. That's how I'm rolling, y'all. And then my next vehicle just might be a lease. That's the direction I'm heading in, y'all. So let me know your thoughts. Put it in the comments below. And I'll see you in the next episode. Be blessed. Have a great day. And I think that's about it. Deuces.